Hey, this is the Cookout Podcast, episode 288. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan. We're doing Is It Spellslinger Deck. Now, hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What is going down?
Whole ton is going down. We're in CCO studio today because the global bastard has bit us in the ass yet again. We've got some people to thank, some really cool stories to tell, based mainly on my adventure to get out here to record today. But before we get to any of that, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com, their source for all your gaming needs.
Ooh, very much so. CCO Fusion 5, get you 5% off on the stuff you're gonna buy anyways at checkout. You head on over there, use the promo code, it'll let them know that the boy sent you.
You know what I got the other day?
Oh, I was going to tell you what I got.
Oh, okay, I'm going to tell you what I got first.
Okay.
I'm really excited. Hazareth the Fervent.
Okay.
Foil.
Okay. Yeah.
Invocation.
Ooh. Mine's not that cool. But it'll do work.
Okay, all right. You know what doesn't do any work? Hazard. I don't have ever activated his ability not one time.
Can you even read it? Can you even read that one?
Do I need to?
No, I don't know. I don't know if there's enough room between us for Joe Mama to have it on the screen in between us without covering our faces. But I did tell Editor Joe to go nuts because we are sitting in front of the time machine, and he does have a bunch of new access to tips and tricks and little special things that I hope he makes us look really good.
And that's all thanks to everybody out there that supported the Commander Cookout Kickstarter, which is still munching along as things do, and we should have a new and exciting update for you guys very, very soon about the shirts and mats and all that stuff.
Well, there is an update.
Oh, shit!
There is an update. I haven't even told you about the card that I got yet. The update. Important. Playmats. Ordered. Paid for. Getting shipped.
Ooh.
Oh, baby. They're going to be here. We're going to sign them. They're going to be awesome. We'll give an update. We'll post some pictures when we have a big stack of them, and it'll be super cool.
You have to buy some new Sharpies.
Yes, we will need to buy Sharpies. Yes, because apparently, like, Sharpies, when you sign a playmat, it doesn't go very far, I think, because, like, the material that the mat is made out of, like, sucks out the ink out of the Sharpie.
Oh.
Yeah, like, you don't get very many signatures out of them, hey?
Oh, no, I guess not. Yeah.
No. So that's one update. Second update is the shirts are with the shirt manufacturer people. I sent off all the colors, all the sizes. I sent out an update on the Kickstarter thing because some sizes, like if somebody ordered like one teal shirt, 2 yellow shirts, and one was you, and you were pissed off. Minimum order quantities don't allow us to order like one shirt from this manufacturer. So we just had to adjust some colors, like dark green turns into regular green, for example. So I sent out a little update. Everybody was really understanding, except for you.
Yeah.
But it'll all be fine. It's all coming together, and everything else is ready to go. So we're just waiting on the tokens to finish getting printed, because we're getting tokens.
Ooh.
Yeah, like 15,000 of them.
Man, I haven't had 15,000 of anything since that time I had lice.
I haven't had 15,000 of anything since that time I got a loan from the bank and had to pay 15,000 back.
For the record, I've never had lice.
Oh, good, because you got lots of hair.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I got from Fusion.
Okay, oh yeah, right, yeah.
CCO Fusion 5 saved me 5%, because I was going to buy it whether I saved the 5% or not, but I might as well save the 5%.
Good call.
Foil.
As
we are wont to do. Tainted Strike. Ooh, yes.
Have you ever thought of, like,
not playing Tainted Strike?
Covering the E and the D in so it's just Taint Strike? And then have the picture be like somebody just kicking somebody, like, behind their...
That's the best, because I have a non-foil one now.
Like Taint Strike? I think that'd be fun.
I have a non-foil one now that I could alter.
Because, like, some people would get it and some people would...
I think everybody knows what a taint is.
Well, some people don't. And for those people, that's fine. That's cool. And you could learn a thing. Learn a funny thing. It's like a dirty thing that's not really a dirty thing.
I like how we just met a 14-year-old boy at F&M the other day, and his mom and dad were there playing with him. And she was like, why don't you listen to their podcast? I was like, lady, we swear. And she's like, oh, that's okay. I was like, dirty jokes. And
then I was
here we are talking about taints.
Well, I'm like, yeah, potty humor and stuff. And that's fine. It's not like we're talking about, like, the Saskatchewan Screamer.
Ooh, don't Google that.
Right? Yeah, don't.
Don't Google that. Well, here's the thing, though. This is what I felt like asking her. Is like, do you think that your 14-year-old boy or 13-year-old boy hasn't heard any of these types of things at school? Or, like, other places on YouTube? Because they should be watching on YouTube, right?
Oh, for sure. Fucking, that's the place where you watch us, because Joe does a lot of work to make us look cool.
Yeah.
And
he does have to do a lot of work.
Yeah, and that's some heavy lifting. Okay?
Look at us. You're long hair and we're wearing the same shirts.
Yeah, like, has anybody ever met us? Like, we suck.
Oh, man.
We don't actually suck. We're fun.
We don't actually suck, but we are pretty big nerds.
Yeah.
Like, you're into, like, collecting Transformers.
Yeah.
And I'm into, like, landscaping and gardening. Well, you're into gardening,
I like
too.
to garden,
Is
too.
gardening nerdy?
I don't think so. We're growing food with our hands.
Yeah.
And, a hose and
you
lots
know,
of tools.
You know what my nerdy thing is? Lord of the Rings. That's my nerdy thing. Yeah. Tolkien Legendarium.
No, this is going to be a whole tangent right now, because I'm gonna blow up this whole show right now.
Should we say who we're doing first?
No.
Because we totally said the wrong name in the pre-show. We didn't even give hints. So, you know what? Random comment from yesterday's pre-show is going to win a booster pack.
Whoever dunked on us the hardest for forgetting to do the thing.
Yes.
They'll win. We'll put that in the description of the video.
Yeah, and you can go back and dunk on us after this airs, because I don't pick the winner until like the following week. So go back and just
slam dunk us on us on the pre-show, and whoever makes us laugh the hardest will win the back.
You know what? I'm going to take comments from this show too on people telling Joe how good of a job he did, because you know what happened in the Discord?
Tell me.
One of the benefits to becoming a patron over at patreon.com/CCO Podcast, Discord access.
Yeah.
So they were CCO Nation on the Discord was talking about Tyler editing the top 5 and 5s, and Joe, editor Joe, editing the show proper, getting just the right amount of CCO-ness for our personalities to make them just right.
Well, that's
because
fun.
They were saying other shows, maybe other shows where they even use their cell phone right on the show, like you're about to do, are very highly produced, and it's almost become cartoony versus our editors just dunking on us. But you know what? We are here for your entertainment. We are Commander Cookout Entertainment. I think we should rebrand. CCE.
I don't know, man. That sounds like some kind of a medical procedure that nobody wants.
No. Well, it'd be CCOE. That sounds like we're trying to be like CCO.
Yeah, well, we could be CCO-ish if we wanted to do that, right? But here's the... We're still not telling you who we're doing. We're still not, because I'm going to tell this story first. I'm going to ask the question.
Guaranteed Joe put it in the thumbnail.
Okay, cool. So, new Lord of the Rings series is coming out. Okay? It's the 1,000 years before the actual Lord of the Rings that everybody knows, if you watched the movies. Now, if you read the books...
Which I have.
Which you have, and I'm sure plenty of people who are listening and watching on YouTube, which you fucking should be, are and have as well. But... do we need a series that's set 1,000 years before, because we know where all... hang on.
It's 6,000.
Even more thousands of years before. Because we know where all the rings go, and we know how we got there. And you know why we know where the rings go and how they got there? Because that's what the Lord of the Rings is actually about. Right? When you watch the movies, like, everything is happening. This is the Lord of the Rings thing with Aragorn and Frodo. If you read the books,
it comes to a point at the Lord of the Rings. That's why that story is the story.
And
right?
if you read the books, it's like they walk over a hill and they tell you about every motherfucker that ever walked over that hill in the history of the damned hill. Yep. You know who lived there. You know that dwarf guy with the ring fucking walked up there and shit himself on top of the hill and then rolled down in it because he didn't smell, because that's what the ring did. And then it turns out
the ring gave him COVID, so he couldn't smell?
And then it turns out that that's also where Frodo got stabbed by the Witch King. As an afterthought. And I feel like that's why I didn't like the books, because it was all the shit that happened 6,000 years ago instead of the shit that's happening right now. So do we need the series? Beyond the fact that it's Lord of the Rings and it's going to be well-produced, well-made, super entertaining. Like, is this the show that we needed? Or did we need, I don't know, some kind of episodic retelling or retread of the Lord of the Rings epic story that like, I'd almost rather see that than a prequel that's full of stories that we already know.
You know,
that's just me.
Without getting into it, I would like to see an episodic Lord of the Rings. And if the Amazon series, Rings of Power it's called, is successful enough after like the 5 seasons or whatever they're rumored to have, maybe they'll complete the Second Age, because that's when it's set, 6,000 years before the end of the Third Age, up to, and they've confirmed that they will cover like the Battle of the Last Alliance, where the Second Age ends. Maybe they will get into the Third Age. Maybe we will see the 3,018 years before the ring happens during the Third Age, without getting into it. Because God, I could get into it.
Spoiler alert, all the humans that get rings are bad.
Yes, all the humans that get rings are bad. Mm-hmm. Without getting into it.
Yes, without getting into it. They're bad. Now, we're doing Vadrik Anal Archmage.
Yes, not Vadrok, which you said on the pre-show.
And Vadrok's the mutate creature, right?
Vadrok's the mutate guy that gets you 10 power back from your graveyard. Is that right? Joe will have it on the screen.
I think that's Yarlock?
Yurok?
I thought
Yurok is the double ETB guy, right? Is Panharmona dude?
Okay. I thought that Yarlock, whichever one I said, I thought that was the mutate Esper guy that like copies a spell or something. Does something with spells. I don't know.
You're literally just making up cards. I'll give this guy a read. This is brand new. This is hot new tech. This is Midnight Hunt.
Okay.
Man, I want to call that a dirty thing. But
me too. Yeah.
But the word that rhymes with hunt is like taboo in North America.
Well, and I mean, yeah.
Ask the Australians. Ask the European listeners.
Oh man,
they say that word all the time.
I played with some Australians yesterday, and it was super fun.
They dropped some hard C's, didn't they?
Yeah, man. Tanka Gaming, very fun stream. You should check them out if you have the opportunity.
Oh.
They let me live out my dream of being
on a stream,
Saturday morning cartoon. Because when we play because it's like 7 o'clock here, but it's like 11 a.m. there. It's pretty cool. It's lots of fun. They're good guys, and they teach me lots of things about what lives in Australia, and that there's a different kind of football that they play in Australia where they don't wear pads.
No.
And I was like, is it rugby? No, it's not rugby. It's like, man, does every sport you guys play, is it just you just smashing your unprotected heads into each other? Like, what is it about down under? You know
what I'm super not into is like when people say, oh, I play rugby, we don't wear helmets. It's like, good job, you're going to have a brain injury. Oh, it's Australian rules football. We don't wear helmets. Great. I don't care. I don't care if you want to destroy your brain. Also, American rules football is different. The way that tackling happens is different.
Yeah, it's a very different game.
It's just a different game. It's not like helmets versus not helmets.
Yeah.
Because if you played American football with no helmets, you would just die. Yeah, because the tackling is different. That's why you need a helmet.
Man, could you imagine if they just played American rules football with no pads? Just for one game.
Dude, that was called Gladiator, and it happened in Rome 3,000 years ago.
Yeah. Just dead bodies are sweeping up with a broom.
Yeah.
Jeez. What does the commander do?
Vadrik, asshole Archmage.
Yes.
I think by the end of this, we will say that he is an asshole. He's a 1/2 human wizard, red, blue, 1. If it's neither day or night, it becomes day as Vadrik, asshole Archmage enters the battlefield.
Is he a werewolf?
No.
Oh my god.
He isn't. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, put a +1/+1 counter on him. Mm-hmm. Fine.
Yeah, sure.
That doesn't actually happen when he ETBs, because he ETBs and it becomes day or night. And this is a triggered ability. It's already day or night by the time this resolves. Okay. So that doesn't work. He's a 1/2. Instants and sorceries instants and sorcery spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is Vadrik's power. Okay, so let's break into that a little bit. This is how it works.
Okay.
He's got 1 power. Mm-hmm. He reduces your instants and sorceries by 1. He's a goblin electromancer in your command zone. But if you pump him, like with a brute strength or whatever, to give him +3/+3, mm-hmm. all your instants and sorceries cost 4 less, because his power goes up to 4.
Oh.
Yeah, so his power goes up to 4, and then all of a sudden you can go red, Earthquake for 4 for free. Just red to pay for the
red.
The red, yeah. Just red in Earthquake or red?
Red.
Just red.
Just red.
Yeah. If you had like 10 mana, you use 1 of it to give him +3/+3, and that 1 mana turns into 3 mana, so it's like a ritual. And then you dump the other 9 of your mana into the Earthquake, so now you have like a 14 point Earthquake or whatever. 13-point earthquake. So that's how this deck works. It's actually Joe's deck. It's editor Joe's deck. First time we featured one of his decks.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. So I told him to meme on us hard. I said that already, right?
Yeah,
so I hope he does. I hope he does.
He usually does.
I hope he does. And we're not leaving him any room, so he might have to picture us. I'm not sure, but here we are.
Yeah, it's not where we thought we were going to go when we started today, but it is where we have ended up.
Speaking of where we ended up, okay, so I was hungover this morning. I visited my neighbor and drank half a bottle of Crown Royal by myself. And Brando texts me. Yeah, I got to walk Ursula. I'll be late. It's snowy. Spun my truck around on the highway backwards. Got to go get the car because it's got front wheel drive. It's a whole thing here.
Yeah.
Does the truck not have 4-wheel drive?
No, that's from 1995, back when that wasn't like a standard feature.
Oh, yeah.
So it's only got rear wheel drive. The only reason I can drive it in the winter is because I got a bunch of concrete blocks and I threw them in the box and it's dangerous.
So he's late, and then I'm sitting on my computer doing some audio for a top 5 and 5 coming up, which you should watch this Friday. And I see his car, and he's like stopped on the meridian between the boulevard beside my house. And I'm like, did you get fucking stuck? And you called me. I'm stuck. Did you miss the road? I can't see the road. That's a game that we play here, hey? Can we see the road?
Yes, and sometimes you win, and sometimes you lose.
Yeah, because the snow blows over like this, right? And then you can't see where the shoulder is and where the ditch is. It's just white.
Yeah.
And you just hope that the tracks that you're following, like the other car tracks, are going to stay on the road.
Yes. Yes.
So he's stuck, and I'm pissed off. I get all dressed up because it's fucking cold, windy, and I walk out. I'm getting less mad as I get closer because I'm like, you didn't miss the road.
Yeah.
He was on the road, but there was giant-ass snowdrift that you also can't see because everything's white.
Yeah.
It just looks like looking at a sheet of white paper.
There's no depth. It sucked. And I'm like, oh man, am I in the actual ditch? Like, have I sunk up to the bottom of the car? Like, am I fucked right now? Are we going to have to pull me out with a truck?
I was so hoping that wasn't the case.
This totally sucks. We're going to be here until like 10 o'clock tomorrow trying to figure this out. And I was all pissed off too. And then when he showed up, and I was like, wait, I'm on the road. I'm in some tracks of another vehicle.
Yeah.
But
the tracks went through, and then the drift, like the other car that went through was taller than your car.
Yeah.
So when your car went through, you just got hung up. And I was like, okay, I'll just push you backwards. Drive 4 feet that way. Okay.
And we got out, and I made it. So that's fun.
Yeah.
So I had an adventure before we got here. An adventure is awesome.
Yeah. And well, let's go on an adventure with Vadrik. Let's go on an asshole adventure.
An ass venture.
Ooh. I was going to say don't Google that, but I do like ass venture.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And now, is this like a capitalistic venture where we're like investing in something? Or are we just exploring an ass?
Yes.
Are we doing it the traditional way, or are we shrinking down like on Magic School Bus?
Oh, 100% shrinking down like Magic School Bus. Anytime you give me an option of doing something the traditional way or some kind of crazy magical cartoon way, I will 100% all of the time pick the magical cartoon way.
Oh.
Like, if you ever give me the opportunity to like fly into space or just get really, really small or any of that shit, I will do it. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You want to try the laser beam and get shrunk down and walk through the yard, Brando? Yes, I do. I want to ride an ant. I want to lure it with an Oreo cookie. I want to do all that shit.
Get sucked up in the lawnmower?
Maybe not that part. That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But
hey, before the adventure, we actually forgot our podcast biznatch. We forgot the business. What? Last week's pack winner.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to blast through this fast.
And we're gonna ass blast.
Yep.
Totally real name. If you guessed Satoru Umezawa last week and are also called Jason Schiller.
That doesn't sound real. That sounds made up as hell to me.
Jason Schiller. You email me, commandercookout@gmail.com. Let me know it was you. Send your address. We'll get you a stinky old booster pack or a Brando token, altar, proxy, or a bunch of CCO stickers, whatever your preference is.
Yeah, you have another little while to get those in. I'm going to start working on them yesterday. Because today is, that you're listening to this, is Tuesday. I started working on them yesterday on Monday. So there should be a new batch of them sent out probably by Thursday.
Very good. Yeah, at EDH&M, because the mall and the post office.
Exactly.
Yeah, more efficient.
Yes.
Okay, got a couple thank yous.
Oh, shit.
Thank yous.
Yeah.
Yes. First one, returning patron, and this guy's got a nickname already.
Okay.
It's another one of the benefits to becoming a patron. Papa Dio. He's back.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, last time he was Papa Bitch, and now he's back again. This is like his third time coming back.
The bitch came back.
The bitch came back. Hyper bitch.
Papa Dio 2, hyper bitch.
Yes. Mr. Dio. Sounds way cooler because I think of Ronnie James Dio. Rainbow in the Dark, Holy Diver. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I actually liked the Kill Switch Engage version of Holy Diver better.
Oh, yeah, the Kill Switch Engage guitar solo is one of my favorite guitar solos. Short, sweet, nice and tight. Yeah, don't Google any of that.
That's fine. These are all ways of describing a guitar solo. It's perfectly sensical,
I suppose. But you know what happens on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Next, thank you.
Okay.
Tanner Spalding needs a nickname.
Tanner's Balding?
Yeah, I thought Tanner Bald Thing.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Tanner Bald Thing. Well, welcome. Welcome to the nation.
Yeah, we appreciate having you here, and F you for being here.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for the support. Yeah, you know what I just got, actually? I just got another camera holder for the mini tripod that we use at the control room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I got? I have to thank, on the show here, Tyler Matuli Stone, because somebody on the Discord thought it would be a great idea if I had more goddamn diamonds in my life. And he sent me like 22 of them. So I got this great big envelope. It's like this big, this huge
Are
envelope.
they foil?
One of them is. At the station, because fan mail gets sent to the station. I give people that address, so it makes me look fucking cool at work. And so I get the mail or whatever, and I open it up. I'm all excited, and it's like, I'm fanning. I'm like, fuck. So now I got to find something to do with all these diamonds. So maybe I'll draw dinks on them. Maybe I'll draw other things on them and send them out as thank you gifts. I don't know.
Maybe you can press them down in like a hydraulic press and turn them into a real gemstone.
An actual diamond?
Yeah, that would be cool.
I have taken all the foil ones that I had and the one that Tyler sent me, and we have like this little desktop greenhouse machine that's very humid where Kylan grows plants, and I've put them all in there to see how curled I can get them.
They'll just turn into circles?
They are very curled right now.
Do you think they'll curl all the way around into a circle, and then you could send them to Chris Von Doom and he can smoke them?
Maybe.
He probably could.
Maybe, yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that, but if you wanted to do it, send pics or didn't happen.
Yeah. Should we do this deck?
Let's get to the deck.
Okay.
So here's the thing. We got Vadrik. He makes our stuff cost less. This is what we have to answer. This is the thesis that I have to defend.
Okay.
Anything that pumps him is going to give us mana. Because the deck is like full of instants and sorceries that like hurt our opponent.
Right.
We want to make them cost less. We want to pump Vadrik. And it's good because you want bigger creatures anyways. Right? So
Yeah.
if they were like, oh, counterspell your Earthquake. Okay, hit you for 10. Right?
Yeah,
and it's like the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
Instead of hitting everybody for 10, I'll just hit you for 10.
Hit you for 10, Mr. Blue. Right? Yeah.
Now you're black and blue, you jerk. Yeah.
Okay, is Vadrik better than any other like traditional Izzet commander? Like I'm thinking the Niv Mizzets that deal damage and draw cards. We're going to do that in this deck. Is it better than Mizzix of the Ismagnus that gets cheaper for every like experience counter that you get for casting spells? Is it better than that? I don't think it is in terms of combo potential, but this is faster. Like you can probably storm faster in this deck without the need for like Moxes and Mana Crypts and Mana Vaults. You can just do it faster in this deck without spending $1,000.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's hop over to the cards now. Let's peep this. We're gonna start with Ramp. You said, right?
We are. Yes. We got a Thought Vessel. We got a Talisman of Creativity, a Sol Ring, Primal Amulet, Izzet Signet, and an Arcane Signet. Those are our standard pieces of ramp that you kind of see everywhere. Unique to this deck because of what Ryan just talked about. We also have a Rune Chanter's Pike.
Rooney CP. Equipped creature gets first strike and +X/+O, where X is the number of instants and sorceries in your graveyard.
So that's, I guess that's kind of the same as Mizzix. because it's like you have to cast it first to make it cost less, but it also makes your dude bigger for bigger beats.
It makes future spells cheaper.
Yes. Well, I guess we also have a Goblin Electromancer and a Baral Chief of Compliance. Those both make your instants and sorceries cost less as well.
In the same way that Vadrik does, in that they make all your spells cost less. It's not like tap it for a mana and then that mana is used.
Yes.
All your stuff costs less.
And then we got a Black Blade Reforged.
This is interesting because it's exactly what I said. You pump the power and you always just have the mana now.
Yes.
I actually want to put a Black Blade Reforged in my mill deck.
Yeah.
Because like it aims to go 10, 16 turns, and it's like, oh, I guess I'll just like kill you or whatever. I'll be like, no, bounce your guy. Kill you with Black Blade Reforged instead of milling you.
Yeah.
And get those Brewback beats.
And the last one, we're going to see this one come into play later on in the game, or in the deck, with one of my favorite combos ever, with Blazing Sunsteel.
Oh, yeah. I think that this is actually in here just for the combo. Just because Joe wanted us to do this deck. Equip Creature gets +1/+0 for each opponent you have. So
let's call it 3.
Let's call it 3, yeah. Whenever equipped creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target.
That'll come in handy later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about that later.
Okay.
So let's talk about some card advantage stuff. We're gonna draw some cards and do some stuff. That's what Is It decks like to do.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start with the Locust God.
Whenever you draw a card, you get a 1/1 bug, and you can pay for draw a card, discard a card, and if he dies, you put him whatever. Yep. Return him to whatever. Yep. He comes back.
Yes. Pull from tomorrow.
Draw X cards, then discard a card. Instant speed, mind you.
It's an instant. Cool art on it, too. There's somebody like sucking magic out of a big hourglass.
Yeah,
that's
I love
pretty
sucking.
Neat.
Oh.
We'll just move on to Malik Is It Paragon.
Oh, this one, I feel like this card's a miss. It just doesn't work.
I think that this card should be OG Teferi from Time Spiral, the one that makes it so that you can play your stuff
at instant
speed and your opponents can't.
Oh.
I think that in a deck like this, that you're going to try and do great big earthquakes and stuff, any kind of advantage of, I'm going to earthquake you for 10 at the end of your turn kind of thing. You can
and it stops counterspells.
Yeah, I think that might be a solid include. Maybe Joe just didn't have one or didn't want to spend any money on one, but that's okay. What I think should go in here instead of Malik.
Well, Malik Is It Paragon is play with the top card of your library revealed, instants and sorceries from the top of your library. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery card from your library, you copy it. So
it's good.
If you copy an earthquake, like, it's enticing, but I don't know. It costs 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that there's kind of better ways to use your mana. We have a Jessica's Will. We're going to talk about this card soon.
Oh, yeah. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. Ooh, that's good. That's card advantage. Add red for each card in target opponent's hand. If you have a commander, which you probably will because you want this to cost frickin' 1 instead of 3, you can do both.
Yeah.
One of the most powerful cards that came out of Commander Legends.
One of the most powerful cards you can play in the color red.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Finale of Revelation.
Ooh, draw X cards. If X is 10 or greater, instead shuffle your graveyard into your library, draw X cards, untap 5 lands, no maximum hand size.
Ooh. And exile it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. Chandra T of D.
Oh, I love T and D's.
Chandra Touch of D.
Why don't you give it a read? Because I don't even know what this does.
I can't because my phone won't open that.
Oh,
because I'm a professional podcasting professional. I'm using my cellular telephone. But I can tell you what she does.
Okay.
She has a +1 that lets you exile the top card of your library. You can cast it this turn. If you don't, it 2s all of your opponents. Or you can +1 her to add red to the mana pool. You can minus, I think, 3 her to 4 a creature. Or you can minus 7 or 8, and you get an emblem that says every time you cast a spell, you 5 something.
It's -7.
Yeah, way better than 8.
Sure.
She's my second favorite planeswalker.
Well, who's your first?
The Vivian from Ikoria.
The one that gives you a beast that has an ability?
Yeah.
That you can cast creatures at the top with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She's my... And what puts that one over the top for me is she also has that line of text I love so much. You may look at the top card of your library at any time.
Oh, yeah.
I love doing that.
Faster than an instant.
Oh, it's my favorite thing. I will look at the top card of my library all the time.
As a mana source.
Next card, we're going to Blue Sun Zenith.
Target player draws X cards. It's notable that it's target player.
You can kill some fool with this if they got a very small library.
And then you shuffle it into your library, yeah.
And last one, we have an Archmage Emeritus.
Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, draw a card. That's a good one.
It's a solid card. Let's do Crackling Drake. Because it's got its own category.
Yes, the category is called Crackling Drake.
Correct. In the category is Crackling Drake.
Yes. Star 4 Drake, red, blue.
Ooh.
Flying. Crackling Drake's power is equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. When casting Drake or Crackling Drake enters battlefield, draw a card.
Does that deserve its own... Am I missing something? Does that deserve its own category? Is this just Joe effing with us?
It's big. Like, it would be big. Like, it would be a 10-4. And then if you put a Blackblade Reforged on it and a Runechanter's Pike on it, you could probably 40 somebody.
I guess.
That's lots of work, but...
Yeah.
Lots of work. But it does fly. It flies.
I guess.
Let's move on. Let's protect. We'll go fast on this one. Swiftfoot Boots, that's easy. Negate counters a non-creature spell. There's a little budget include, hey? 13 cents.
Yeah. And then there's a Greaves, a Fierce Guardianship, and a Deflecting SWAT.
Oh, yeah, that budget, though, hey?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's a third of the budget of the deck, and I'm not even making that up.
It's lots.
It's close. Those are expensive.
We'll talk about those when we get to the budget section, but I'm thinking that Joe must have had, like, the Commander 2019 precons?
Yeah,
I think they're 19.
I think they're 2019.
2019 precons that were just like, oh, I have these awesome cards that I'm just going to jam.
Yeah.
No.
Let's talk about some threat removing.
You sound so enticed.
Yeah. We have Swan Song. Counters a thing, gives him a bird. We have Spell Burst. That's a mana leak, but with an X in it. We have to pay X. And you can buy it back.
Oh. No, buyback is an additional cost and isn't part of the spell's converted mana cost, right?
Right. So you can't reduce it with whoever. But I mean, for 4, you can make somebody pay 100 or counter their spell, thus countering their spell, and then get your counter spell back. So that's pretty good.
It's an additional cost, though. So, like, when you cast the spell, you declare whether or not you're going to pay the buyback.
Right.
You determine all costs, including cost adders and cost reducers, and then you pay those costs as part of, like, casting the spell.
Oh.
So does it cost reduce?
Oh, maybe it does.
Maybe it does, because it's part of, like, it's an additional cost. It's not an alternative cost, like if you overloaded Rift. If you overload Rift...
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oh, no, but if you overload Rift,
you can still cheapen it.
You're casting it for its overload cost.
You know what? Yeah, Spellburst is real good in this deck because you can just buy it back for free.
Sure.
We have a Shattering Spree that lets you pay red to kill an artifact, or you can pay red to kill 2 artifacts, 3 red to kill 3 artifacts.
It's got Replicate, so you just pay the Replicate cost to double it.
We have a Resculpt.
It kills a thing.
Remand.
Counters a thing, draws a card.
Rapid Hybridization.
Kills a thing, they get a frog.
Pongify.
Kills a thing, they get a monkey.
Counterspell.
Counters a thing.
A Braid.
Kills an artifact or deals 3 damage to a creature.
And Chaos Warp.
And a Chaos Warp, yes.
We all know Chaos
Kills a thing, they get a thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, I like Chaos Warp for red, hey? It's pretty good.
Chaos Warp's real good. So let's talk about some rituals, shall we?
Chaos Warp gets better when we play Malik, because we can see if we've got a permanent on top, or we could kill our own thing to get like a blocker or something at instant speed.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
That's a thing you can do. That is true.
Still work.
Yes.
Still lots of work.
All right, so here's our rituals. We have Seething Song, Pyretic Ritual, Mana Geyser, and Desperate Ritual. We all knew those were in here.
Yeah.
Then we have Reckless Charge.
Reckless Charge, +3/+0 until end of turn, and Flashback.
Yeah.
So you could like, because Flashback, you're casting it, right?
Yep.
So you cast it for its Flashback cost, it would reduce its cost, right?
Yeah.
So if Vadrik, because he gets the +3 from the first instance of Reckless Charge. So he becomes 4, and then the Flashback is just red.
Yeah.
And then all your stuff costs 6 less.
Yeah.
Then you go Earthquake, and you're like, Earthquake you for 6, I'm tapped out. But you still take 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Then we got Haze of Rage. I really like this card.
Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn.
That's terrible, but keep reading.
Buyback.
Uh-oh.
So you can buy it back. And Storm.
So it's buyback for 2 colorless.
So every time you buy it back and cast it again, it copies itself an additional time because it has Storm.
Yeah.
This card is crazy.
Yeah, oh yeah. This card's insane in this deck. It's wild.
Yeah.
And the last one is Fists of Flame.
Oh, man, I love good fisting.
Of course you do.
Draw a card. Draw a card. Until end of turn, target creature gains trample and gets +1/+0 for each card you've drawn this turn. So you can imagine this.
Yeah.
You go, dump all of my mana into Blue Sun Zenith. Draw 10.
Okay.
Fists of Flame. Well, all my mana except for 2.
Okay.
Well, and we'll get
No, 1 because...
Oh, yeah.
Vadrik, yeah.
Fist of Flame.
Fist of Flame.
+1/+1 for all the things.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like 11, let's say.
Yep.
And then you go red, Earthquake, 11. But you're tapped out. No, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Vadrik would be huge.
Yes.
Oh, man, that's super good, super good.
We're going to do some recursion real quick.
Sure.
So we have Underwear Breach and Past in Flames. We
Classic for this kind of deck.
Yeah, we knew those were coming. We have a Mystic Retrieval.
Look at this. Return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand for 4 mana, which is like not very good, but really it doesn't cost that. The reason it's extra costed is because it also has flashback.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I like that one.
Yep.
And Lear, Disciple of the Drowned.
Oh, man. If I were to cut all the counter spells from Bruvak, I would play this card. Spells can't be countered.
Ooh.
So I can't run counter spells.
Right.
3/4 for 5. And each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has Flash B.
Ooh.
Oh, well, it flashback for its mana cost.
Yes.
So that example that I just gave with Fist of Flame,
Yeah.
all of that same stuff, except you could then cast your Blue Sun Zenith again, and then your Fist of Flame again.
Well, Blue Sun you can't because you have to shuffle it back in.
Oh, well, okay. Then,
We have other draw X cards that we're going to get to, but
yeah, and then your Earthquake again. That's the point. That's the point. And this time Earthquake is like for 50.
yeah, it's way better.
Ooh,
Yes.
50, he says. Wait until we get to the big cards.
We have a Mystical Tutor. That's our one tutor we're playing. It finds an instance or sorcery or mana source and puts it on top of the library
Yep.
for 1 blue. Damage Amplification. We're playing Dictaste of the Twin Gods, Fiery Emancipation, Furnace of Wrath.
Yes, all damage doublers or triplers, so that Earthquake for 50 is actually an Earthquake for 100 or 150.
We could copy some spells if we wanted to as
So
well.
we copy that 50-point Earthquake
Yeah.
now. We've got a Narset's Reversal and Combo City, Ral Storm Conduit. This is a Planeswalker 4 loyalty. You can +2 to Scry. You can -2 to when you cast your next instant or sorcery this turn, copy it. And whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, Ral deals 1 damage to target opponent or Planeswalker.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's a good one in an index like this.
Combo engine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we'll be talking about this possibly in a upcoming top 5, maybe in just decks in general as we look at Graveyard Hate.
Oh.
Specific section to deal with the graveyard, and we have old Ryan Mainstay in Relic of Progenitus, or Relic of Pierogitits, as we like to say.
Yeah, very much. Look at Joe. He's doing all the homework. He's covering his bases. He's being too safe, I think.
You think?
Being too safe. Anyways, tap. Target player exiles a card from their graveyard, or 1 exile Relic of PT, and exile all cards from all graveyards, draw a card. Not so good with our flashback and Past in Flames and stuff,
Yeah. But sometimes you just got to get rid of graveyards.
sometimes it's gotta go.
And he also has a Burn Away, which is a really neat card, I think.
Oh. From Conspiracy Take the Crown?
Yes.
Sure. Burn Away deals 6 damage to target creature. When that creature dies this turn, exile all cards from the controller's graveyard. Hey, that is good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And it's in this deck, it's probably going to cost you 1 or 2 instead of 5.
Yeah.
So you can play big, stupid spells like that.
Neat.
So let's talk about killing people.
Oh, I love killing people.
We're to the point where now we're just going to start murdering people. We're playing Earthquake, as we've talked about.
Yes.
We're playing Rolling Earthquake.
It's Earthquake but gets horsemanship?
Correct. Doesn't get horsemanship.
Doesn't get horsemanship. Ooh.
We have Light Up the Night.
X damage to any target. It deals X damage +1 instead if that target is a creature or planeswalker, which it won't be. But.
You could probably get I think there's better options than that.
Well, this one's also got flashback. Remove X loyalty counters from among planeswalkers you control. Yeah, why is this in here?
Yeah, I feel like you could do better than Light Up the Night with X spells. You could play Crackle with Power, or
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
the Shatter Skull Smashing would be another good one because it kills 2 people.
Yeah.
You could do...
Because he's got Fault Line, the instant speed Earthquake. He's got Comet Storm, which is...
the best red counterspell.
Yes. And speaking of the best in red...
Oh, you better believe we're playing Brash Taunter. Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We got his butter knife, and now we have Brash Taunter as well. Brash Taunter's toothpick.
I like butter knife. The brashy butter knife. Give her the old butter knife.
Brash Taunter, as we know, the most handsomest, the most versatile, the most powerful creature ever printed in Magic the Gathering, is a 1/1 for red 4. Indestructible. Whenever he takes damage, he deals that much damage to target person, and he can also tap to fight things.
So he combos with his butter knife, aka Blazing Butt Steel.
Yes.
And how does it work? Explain it. Because Blazing Sunsteel is whenever a creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target.
Correct. So Brash Taunter takes any amount of damage.
1 damage.
1 damage. Brash Taunter then will deal 1 damage to an opponent and 1 damage to itself.
Because Blazing Sunsteel says it can deal damage to any target.
Correct. And then that's a loop where Brash Taunter will do 1 damage to somebody and then 1 damage to himself, and you just repeat that until everybody's dead.
And because Brash Taunter takes the damage, Brash Taunter says, I'm going to deal a damage to you.
Yeah.
And because Blazing Sunsteel says you took damage, I'm going to deal a damage to anything. It just happens to be you.
Yes.
Like to the Brash Taunter.
And if you do that with a damage doubler of some kind in play, you can do all kinds of fun things with math.
I suppose if you have that combo, you just need to Earthquake for 1.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Or have Brash Taunter fight anything.
Also, yes.
Or block. Or basically do anything that your deck wants to do anyway, and you win.
Basically look at Brash Taunter or have him look at you.
Yes, exactly. And you'll kill everyone. It's the best. That's why it's the number 1 combo on the earth.
Oh, yeah. Board wipes. We got a Starstorm. That's an X-cost board wipe. We've got a Magmaquake X-cost board wipe.
Yeah.
Psych Rift. Burn down the house.
I like Burn Down the House a lot.
Yeah, so this is red 3 sorcery. Choose 1. Burn down the house deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. That's the Wrath side of it. And then it also is create 3 1/1 red devil creature tokens that when they die, they deal a damage to any target. Like Brash Taunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then we've got a Blasphemous Act.
Yes, we do.
Blasphemer.
Yes.
Yes.
The only one I feel is I think that you could probably do better than Starstorm. I know it's an instant, but I just feel like there's probably something better that you could play.
I do like cycling a Starstorm.
Yeah.
And then casting it from like your graveyard or getting it back.
Like, you know what would be cool in this deck? Is that Meteor Strike card that blows up a land and then 20s everything, because you could do it for 1. Yeah, you could play it for the cost of Stone Rain, and then it 20s everything, or 13s everything, or whatever. That'd be cool. Yeah. But I just like that card, and that's the whole deck.
That's it. That's everything.
That's everything.
Dang, we did it.
We did the whole deck.
Strengths and weaknesses.
Strengths and weaknesses.
Combo potential.
Yes.
Yeah, and we looked at EDH when we were doing all the stuff, and it's like there's some like legit ways that you could do this, right? Where you just like cast them and stuff auto equips, so you get like his reduction bonus for free.
Yeah.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Could go fast.
Yeah. This is one of those decks where if you invest a little bit of cash money to get you that right out the block head start,
yep,
you could certainly pop off, as they say, very quickly.
And does it go faster than Mizzix? Because Vadrik costs less right out of the gate, can you get him out sooner?
Yeah, I think yes and no. I think that this one might be a little bit easier to disrupt, and you have to kind of rebuild and rework, and when you have to cast Vadrik a couple of times, it might slow you down a little bit more, whereas with Mizzix, you just kind of put him back into play, and all of your hard work is still there. Right? That's why experienced counters are so like brutal, because they're always there and you can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Whereas with Vadrik, you have to re-equip him with all the equipment. You have to re-pump him somehow.
Yeah.
If they kill him in response to you trying to make him huge, you miss.
Yeah. Well, let's save that for the weaknesses. I've got a couple kind of ethereal strengths here.
Okay.
It plays the types of cards that people want to play these days.
Yeah.
Like instants and sorceries that like interact with your opponents more without being like super competitive, even though you could be.
Yes.
Also, it's a good deck to introduce legacy and modern players to in Commander. because it plays a lot of stuff that you'd see in Legacy and Modern. And then it still gives you some of like the Meliks and the Narsets reversals and the Brash Taunters that are very commandery.
Yeah, Brash Taunt. You said Brash Taunt. You're saying this is definitely a strength. You're saying my language. 2 strengths that I have has Brash Taunter in it. That's obviously number 1, first and foremost in my mind. Number 2, it's going to lead into my first weakness also.
Oh, okay. Well, I got doesn't cost as much money as you think. That's a strength.
That is.
The final one, before we get to your strength and then your weakness, is big damage, which...
Always fun.
And again, feels very commandery. It lets the new Legacy or Modern player do the commander thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Check this out.
Okay.
Strength.
Yeah.
It is an Is It Spellslinger deck that is fun to play, easy to figure out, and is going to give you a fun puzzle to figure out each and every time.
Yes.
Which is great. Really fun Is It deck. The weakness is it's the Is It Spellslinger deck. Like if somebody says this is my Is It Spellslinger deck, you know exactly what it's going to do, and it's this. This one wins with Earthquakes instead of big draw X spells, but at the end of the day, most of those decks are the same, and you're going to see that in the spice calculator. The decks are the same.
Yeah.
There's a lot of homogeneity in the Is It Spellslinger category these days. Maybe your top end is a little different, but everything from 0 to 5, we'll say, are all pretty standard cards at this point.
You know what I thought, or what I saw that I think makes this deck different is instead of trying to get the infinite mana or the very fast mana or the auto equips, the auto pumps, instead of doing that, we're getting the damage doublers and triplers.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to do that really fast, hyper efficient, tuned thing, we're trying to win in a little bit of a more casual way, which is like, who doesn't like landing their Fiery Emancipation and everybody's like, oh, we're gonna die, guys, and then you go Hurricane or Earthquake. Right?
Yeah.
Like that feels to me way better than I'll just make infinite mana and then Earthquake you. Or
Yes.
I'll make infinite mana and then Blue Sun Zenith myself.
Yeah, with the Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, this feels way more casual commandery, which is what we like.
Yes.
So, okay, weakness.
Weakness.
If we didn't cover it already. There is some Rule 0 baggage, because it is an Is It Spellslinger deck, and win with Lab Maniac, mill myself, infinite damage is a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you do one of those things ostensibly. Like doing 1,000 damage is the same as doing infinite damage.
Yeah.
So there is a certain level where it's like, oh, is it deck? There is a part where you have to say yes.
Yes, and that's why the baggage,
Yes.
right? There's no infinite combos. I can't tutor like 87 times, but yes, I still do the thing.
Yes, I still do exactly what you asked me if my deck does.
Now, here's the thing. You tell me if this is a strength or a weakness.
Okay.
The cards, I've got it as a weakness. The cards are greater than a sum of their parts. Individually, we're playing some bad cards, like Reckless Charge.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Right? But you put them all together, and the deck just hums. It just goes off.
Sometimes the synergies in decks make things stronger than they appear, and I think that can be a weakness to a deck when you're trying to fly under the radar a little bit. Like when somebody sees a piece of crap card just destroy somebody. It's like, oh my god, and that's a bad card. What happens when they start playing their good cards?
Yeah.
And then they start playing their good cards, and now 2 people are dying at a time.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to fly under the radar when your synergy is so strong like that.
Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we've got some ideas on that.
Yes.
Last weakness, and this one goes back around to the Rule 0 baggage.
Yeah.
Lots of CEDH cards and or cards that make a casual pod go, really? Really, dude?
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna Fierce Guardianship that. You're gonna Deflecting Swat that thing to save your commander that like you're gonna combo with next turn.
Oh,
really?
You're gonna copy not Narset's Reversal. You're gonna copy Jessica's Will 3 times, and then sure, bud. Yeah.
Again, Rule 0 baggage. I guess you just have to be honest that and say that yes, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a CEDH Vadrik deck, but yes, I'm gonna do the thing.
Yeah.
Or attempt to.
Yeah, that is the Rule 0 baggage is I think the main weakness to the deck, where it is an Is It Spellslinger deck, and there is only one Is It Spellslinger shell, really, and they all do the thing that people ask you if does it do this? Yes. The answer is always yes. And it's unfortunate because this deck is fun and very cool. and it's not like Ryan says CDH, but it is certainly a deck that can do the thing.
Yeah.
Because all Is It Spellslinger decks do the thing.
Well, let's look at some of the cards individually. Budget section, $420 only.
That's fine. It's not bad.
It's fine, but get this. Fierce Guardianship and Deflecting SWAT right there, $90.
Yep.
And you could take them out. If you don't have them, you don't need them to build this deck.
Certainly not.
And they are two of the cards that make people go, really?
Yeah.
Right? And so you take those out, okay. Rift.
Yep, you could take it out too.
And Rift is good, and it's not a CEDH like it is, but
yeah,
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
I rifted you the other day.
Yeah, I rifted somebody last week too.
And then I lost. I still fucking lost. Okay, so take that out. Mystical Tutor, just because it's a tutor and it's $25.
Yeah, it's money. Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine. And Scalding Tarn. The deck does have one.
Yep, don't need it.
Don't need it, especially in a 2-color deck, right? And there's no dual land in here or whatever that you need to get so badly, right?
Yeah.
So you could take all those out, $188 you save, down to $230 for this deck.
And you're not going to find a good deck for probably that's going to end up being worth less than that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that there aren't high-powered budget decks, but
Ooh, good disclaimer.
yeah. But if you're going to build a deck out of just stuff that you have lying around the house, and then if you put it into a site like Tapped Out or Moxfield or Architect, you're going to find your deck is probably worth between $200 and $300.
Yeah.
Just, it's the nature of our hobby, everybody, and we all hate it, but it's the truth, and that is a truth we deal with.
You should try building a race car if you think that Magic's expensive. And stop complaining. Spice calculator.
Spice calculator.
We got to give Joe a spice.
We will.
Got to spice him up. We
Sure.
got to spice up his asshole. Got to spice up his Vadrik. Okay.
Vadrik.
Got to spice up his vag hole.
I just added a G in Vadrik.
Yeah, this is getting worse and worse.
We got to dig up.
Gotta
dig up.
I don't know if you can dig up. It's like trying to jump down. I guess you could do that. Is that just falling over?
Yes.
Okay.
But jump down sounds better than fall in.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Popularity on EDHrec.com. 1,165 lists at the time these notes were created.
Which puts him right below Saheeli the Gifted. That's the artifact planeswalker that can be your commander.
Yep.
And right above Zaffy Thunder Conductor, who I think we've actually done on the show.
No, we beaked it because the name in the name line and the name in the text box are different.
Oh.
That's that one.
Okay, and that's probably why that card has so many decks, eh?
I don't know. I think it's good. Maybe we did it.
We might have.
I don't know.
You know what? Who cares? We're not doing it today. And
yeah.
So is Vadrik is in company.
14th place among Is It Commandees.
Yeah.
Which is pretty high considering he's brand new.
Yeah.
That's because he's powerful.
It's because he's Mizzix without having to play Mizzix. I think that's why he snuck up so quick. Everybody I can do Mizzix stuff with this.
Yeah, nobody's going to know.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to know I want to do the Is It Spellslinger thing.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden somebody just earthquakes you for 100 and it's like, okay, yeah, we're on to you, bud. We're on to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Average CMC, 2.73. It's pretty low.
That's
pretty low, but I think the deck has nuts, right? So you could play this deck.
Yeah, well, decks with lots of X spells in them typically do have that low because they're all converted to 1.
X being 0 everywhere except the stack.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. One tutor, 24 cards different than the stock page on EDHrec.com.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier where it's the Is It Spellslinger deck.
So you punch it all into the spice calculator, you get a 40.2.
That's okay.
That's fine. We'll give him honorary spice because he's our editor.
Yeah, we can give him honorary spice because he's the editor and he did include Brash Taunter Toothpick combo.
Butter knife combo.
Brash combo, butter taunter. Yeah.
Butter taunter.
Butter combo knife. Yeah, we got it.
He's going to make you a butterface. Everything's going to be nice but your face because he's going to put his ass all on it. So that's it. I think the deck is good.
I think it's good. I think it's fun and something that I wouldn't mind playing against in an FNM. It's not something that I would play, as I've proven to myself by having a deck just like this. It's not my thing. But not everything has to be my thing.
This deck is my thing because it runs a lot of the things that I would consider putting in Zata, which feels like an Is It Spellslinger deck, except it's just red.
Yeah.
If I wasn't trying to tune that deck as hard as I could. So that's what this deck feels like. So I liked this commander the first time I saw it. And then I thought what you said, I don't want to do the thing. I don't want to do that thing. I've done that thing before,
Right.
It takes a lot. Maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow too. It takes a lot for me to get pushed past the threshold of yes, I'm going to build this.
Of physically building the deck.
Yeah, because I built so many decks.
Yeah.
I've done all the things, and that's not gloating or like, oh, I can do anything I want. No, but I've played Commander since it was invented.
Yeah, there's very few archetypes of decks that we probably haven't had at one point or another.
Or thought about like very hard.
Yeah, or
because
like
we do this.
Yeah, we build it conceptually for the deck, or somebody sends it in to us and we kind of get a feel for it just by reading through it. Or games we play, we've seen somebody play the deck enough. I'm like, okay, I understand how that works, and maybe it's not for me. It's not as cool as I thought it was.
Oh.
For me, you know what I mean? Like,
you saying editor Joe Mama's not as cool as you thought he was?
Well, I've never met him in real life, so I mean, he might be a total lame-o. I don't know.
Total lame-o.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something way meaner.
No, I'm sure he's fine. He's at least a 7 out of 10.
There we go.
At most 7 out of 10 as well. But
not a 7.1 like New Year, New Us? 7.1s?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
But thanks for the deck. Thank you to everybody who sends decks in. We keep them all. Yep. We keep them all, whether they come in on Discord, casual, competitive, or the preferred deck list channel, email. I don't really keep any of the ones that come in on Twitter or Facebook, so don't send them there. Send them to commandercookout@gmail.com.
Yeah, we lose them very quickly on Twitter. I try hard to, like when somebody sends me deck list, I always look at them, and I think, I should send this to Ryan, and then I forget.
That's fine.
And then they're gone.
Me and Rachel Weeks were comparing Lord of Tressorhorns the other day. We're comparing horns.
I was going to say, me and Rachel Weeks were comparing butts the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I won that one too.
Oh, dang.
Turns out, I know.
Well, I got a better horn than her, and you got a better butt. Nice lady.
She's a great person. She's a fantastic human.
I hope she's listening.
Me too. I hope there's lots of people listening, because I appreciate them.
Oh, yeah. I think they're...
7 out of 10.
I think they're okay.
They're fine. They're fine people that are just out there doing their things, living their lives, and hanging out.
That's it. Okay, so big thanks to Joe for sending the deck in. If you want to play Vadrik, or whatever his name is.
Vadrock? Oh, shit, I forget his name.
Vadrik. Vadrik? Did we say it wrong the whole time, like one time we did that?
Vadrik.
It's got to be that's way how to say it, right?
That's how we're saying it. Vadrik.
If you want to play it, link will be in the show notes, along with everywhere else that you need and everything else that you want if you want to support, or if you want to check us out on YouTube if you're not there already.
Which you fucking should be!
Final thought of the day?
Check out FusionGamingOnline.com, where you can use special promo code CCOFusion5 to save 5% off cards you were going to buy anyway, including this deck if you liked it enough that you want to buy the pieces that you're missing to put it together for your local game EDH NM night, and you want to thrash all your friends with giant earthquakes. Thanks, Joe, for sending in the deck. Thank you all for listening, and we are going to be back tomorrow with a super extra special edition of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!